Mm.
Can you speak one moment so I can you say your name?
My name is Sam G. G-E-E.
Okay, then we're ready.
Yeah.
Okay, you're good.
That's good. Okay.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
I'm super slow with the camera because my work is more doing research, so this part is new for me, like the video part.
You write something out yet? You no. The last time I saw you,
Yeah.
so then I tell you about all the
Yeah. I have that here.
yeah.
Perhaps I should sit here so I can show you. So when I was doing the research, I went to the library and archives, and I got like a lot of documents, pictures, and also I found new information that I didn't know before. So, for example, in the first World War, they transport 800 Chinese workers to England, and then they were transported in sealed cars from Virginia to Halifax.
Oh,
You know, like if like they were products, you know, like they couldn't go out from the cars.
right.
Documents, art. So this is the transcripts of the interview that I got with
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
I want to show you what we got last time. So this is the interview that I got with you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I read down, and basically you told me the history since 1858, when the first group of Chinese immigrants came to Canada, and then we went until the redress movement and the official apology with Prime Minister Harper.
Yeah.
So now I was wondering if also we could add some memories. Like, for example, if you remember the first time you came here, how was the immigration process?
See, I come in Canada. I'm from 1952. As right today, it's 67 year now. Yeah, but I remember is some the Chinese people in Canada. Yeah, it is. It's not the first class, it's the second class. That's right, I tell you right now. Yeah, see, I come in, it's the time, that still you can hear some of the discrimination, some Chinese people. So, yeah. You can hear that time, on the time, you still hear some word is not good for the Chinese. See, they're on the street, you can hear some ching, ching, chow, chow, Chinaman. That's a word. Because at the old time, the Chinese people, not too many people speak good English. That's why they come in from China, didn't have much education. That's why now the people from in, they had a little bit education. If they heard the white people say something like this, they can ask why you talk like this. So that's how they understand you cannot to discrimination Chinese no more. That's how they understand that. That's how they, after that, they all cut it out. So, yeah, that's and so far, you don't hear that things no more. So that's why, and I see that books in here, and then the government give some head tax, the receipt. They had so many different kind, different color. Some blue one, some coffee color, and then some different name. Yeah, that's all my dad come in, my father come in. It's 1913, December 18. It's come in Canada. They pay $500 head tax. I still keep in that government give back the receipt certificate. I'm still holding on that. I carry that on. That's Jamaica to show up to the government. The government still didn't pay back to that $500. We descendant. I am a descendant. That's all we want to. The government pay it back. See, that is over 100 years already. That's all. We ask the government give a symbolic redress, but they don't do it. They now, government still owe us the money. See, I think is that those people pay head tax to the people. I believe in 2006, the government in Harper's government in Ottawa, they say, that's why I'm in Ottawa. So it's the parliament. I heard just to say that, but they didn't talk about. They talk about the little bit of redress, but the survivor, they only got 14 people. They pay $20,000, and the sprout is supposed to be $2,000, but I heard about maybe only pay $800. The descendant, not even one. I talked to Jason Kenney. They said, you are descendant too many people. So you worry about your family, they're fighting for that money. They talk about, give us something, and they give us some education, and they give us some gold coin and some. I said, no. See, that is my father paid $500, and on that time is very valuable, the money. If you like a government, if you are Canadian citizen, owe government income tax, the government charges compound interest. If we do compound interest, charge back your government, then I don't think so your government can afford to pay us. See? But we ask a symbolic redress, a little bit, but they still don't got to pay. I don't know what is the government thinking about. Today, I still thinking about the government supposed to be pay us back. But the descendant like me, I'm young I come in Canada 67 years now. Now, I'm 93 years old. See, how long will be a loss? See, if I'm gone, who gonna carry on? My children doesn't know anything about these things. See, that is, we want to ask the government that you pay the survivor, you're supposed to be paid the death too. That's all. It's descendant, doesn't matter what, how many people, but your government say sorry and they pay back to $500. And you know, 100 years ago, it's a $500, it's a valuable. Yeah. See, I tell the people today, just to say, for example, I'm open up to the business in 1967, and I selling a bread, 10 for $1. Today, if you are the bread on the market, as a cheaper one is $2 each. Okay, the money inflation 20 times. See, that 100 years ago is $500. Your government, you know about that. As your calculation, you know how much value they are. See, that's that. If you do that, if you figure them out that way, the calculation, the government can afford to pay us back. But you do a symbolic redress, that'd be good. I believe it. 99% the Chinese accept it. The descendant accept that redress. That's all I'm thinking about this. If you government still no. And the way for, like, we are second generation is dead, die. Okay, and then government don't need to pay. Well, I believe a little bit discrimination for the Chinese only. That's all talking about this. This gentleman, they want me to say something, and I just want to say something about that. I let the government know about these things. So, see that I'm 93 years old now. It's how long I'm going to be a loss. Yeah? If I'm gone, my grandchildren doesn't know anything about these things. But yeah, see that I hope the government. And 2006, I've been writing on the newspaper in Toronto, Mingpao, as I asked the government, if you owe Canadian government money, then you had to pay. Well, you had to pay. You owe government the money, you had to pay. But turn around, government owe you money. Well, they keep pass it 1 year, by another year. Yeah. Okay, 2006 and June 22nd, and the Harper government to say, that's why they're going to pay the survivor. But how many years now? See, they're not going to make out to pay the descendant. The descendant, like me, I'm going to ask, if I'm gone, my children, my grandchildren doesn't know anything about these things. But I don't know, but the money is in Canadian government Revenue Canada. The money is still there, but the government decide going to pay or not going to pay. That's it. Yeah, that's what I asked for. Thank you very much.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
Yep.
And do you remember when you came first? Like how was your experience of coming the first time to Canada? How was to cross the border? How did they receive you? Like, did you have to show them documents? Did they stop you?
See, my father applied at the family. See, my father. My great-grandfather been Canada before. My grandfather been Canada before. And so my father had paid $500 tax, head tax, to come in. See, and 1945, and the Chinese Benevolent Association and the two presidents, they come up to the Ottawa to negotiate the Ottawa to take the immigration regulations off and the Chinese, the act. So that's how they take off that the immigration, the Chinese only. Yeah, it's and that's they finally prove it. It allow the Chinese and they're living in Canada, those are Chinese, they apply to the Chinese citizenship. And then the 1947, they passed it. It allowed the Chinese people apply to Chinese, from Chinese to change it to the Canadian citizenship. And they passed, they allow to bring the family in. And they bring the family in, they only allow 18 years old unmarried. See there? And that time, I'm over 18. My father, my mother, and my sister, and my brother, I come in 1950. And they under 18 years old, unmarried. See, I'm over, I wait to they change it, and they come in to 1952. I come in Canada at that time, so. And I'm still ask for government going to pay as a descendant. It's $500. My father been pay head tax, and Sunday. That time that money is valuable on that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I was reading that basically they will pay a worker 20 cents a day, like a Chinese worker 20 cents. So then
on that time is they're only $5 a month. My grandpa told me is that on that time, it's only pay $5 per month to the wages. Yeah. And then some of them people, some are, okay, they talk about the railroad the guy at the 1885, I think 1885, that's how they go into Hong Kong and Canton, they buy some slave. They come in Canada to build the railroad. Yeah, on that time, and they bought the slave at 34,000 slaves from Hong Kong or Canton, and then so they come in after the railroad finished. I believe in 1898, I think that they finished. And then those people get no money. They go back China. They hang around in across Canada here, and that's why they go to looking for a job. And that time, they ask for the people, oh, you give me the job, and I take $4, or I take $3, I take $2. Some of them even they say, no, I don't take no money. You give me the place to live. You give me to eat, and then I wait to opportunity and go back China. But on that time, it's no. The people have no money, and they can't go back China. See, that's why they take the white people the job away, and that's why, see, then on that time they make the Chinese, the immigration revolution, they kick the Chinese peoples out. See, and they won't allow Chinese people come in. It's a Mackenzie King government on that time. 1923, July 1st, no Chinese stepped in Canada on that time until to 1945 and August. It's a Japanese and surrender, and the Second World War finished, and Vancouver and Toronto, the Chinese Benevolent Association, and the chairman is Wong Mun Poo. They come in to Ottawa, negotiate it, and that's what they take the immigration revolution off. That's why at that time they allowed the Chinese apply the Canadian citizenship, and then allow to the Chinese people, and they bring the families in at that time, and lucky, and the Chinese people, they come in Canada. That's all. Thank you. Yeah.
And I have another question. Like when your father came first, he came and then he got trapped here. Like, did you get separated from your father? Like, did you stay in China and he stayed here?
My father come in 1913, and my father come in. They pay $500 head tax. They come in Canada, and the Chinese people come in Canada. They most step from Victoria. The first step, they in the Victoria. And Victoria had the island, and they lock up those people in there to pass it, and the government examination, and then you pay head tax $500. And if you come in Canada for merchant or student, you don't need to pay head tax on that time. Yeah. And then so they come. But if you are not immigration, they come in, then government charge you that. That's a Mackenzie King government, and that's all. And my great-grandfather, my grandfather, they come from China, Guangdong province and Hoi San County. And that is there. It's on the history they're talking about. It's Hoi San people come in. They're from California. It's 1858 and June 26, and they come from California. That's all. Those are people. They come in the first step. They in Victoria, and that's all kind of the history they're talking about that. So, yeah, that's all. Those are people. What they're doing in Canada, I don't know. That's all. The history didn't say too much, but then maybe that government they got a record on that. Thank you.
I think they were working on extracting gold. So I think at the beginning when they went to California, they were getting gold from the mines, and then when the rush of the gold was done, then they move up because they were going to build the railroad.
Oh yeah, okay. Now it's my great grandfather. They come in, and they on that's a gold rush, gold mine. They work in a gold mine, and my grandfather they come in the same thing, but one time they work in a CPR steamer, and they work in a CPR steamer. They shovel coal for to make the steamer and go. So I saw my grandfather. I remember on that time I'm 4 or 5 years old, but I see his hand he shovel a coal for the I believe the half a life, and it's my grandfather come in Canada. It's over 40 years old. They come home. They come home China. That's all they. And I understand. It's a kind of my grandma told me. It's that his two hand is all bent up. The shovel coal all bent up. That's all they. That's all they. Not a. It's a hard work. So thank you. Yeah.
And is it true that when they first arrived and then they put it in the island, they will have to get naked and they will, measure the limbs?
Oh yeah. See, you put in the island on Victoria. That's how you put in the island. Then because they check on you, then you have to be all the clothing off. That's how the neck and it's in there. It's some of them they stay in the island quite a long time. Some of them about a month, some to 2 months, some to 3 months, some of them about maybe only 6 months. You see, they in there, and then it's a coin on those are people from Victoria, and they can see some of those people writing all on the wall, writing on the paper or somewhere. Then they talking about how bad is that it's and that this is a history that's be gone. I believe it is a little bit over discrimination on that time. I believe in that. It's but history didn't say too much. But I believe it's so. It's the true too. I think, yeah.
And how many times was your father able to go back to China and back to?
My father, I remember my father go back China. Is he come in 1913, and then he go back China is 1920. I believe it. He go back China, get married, and then maybe 1932 or 33, and they went back China. It's the whole life only two time, and yeah. So my father died in 1975. Yeah, that's the only and 1920 they get in China get married, and then 1932 or 33 and get back China, and that's it. Yeah, and the whole life only two time. Yeah, and he's working. He working on a Victoria, and also in Saskatchewan and Moose Jaw. It's 1924. Then he moved to in Saskatchewan and Yarrowgrass. Then and in Yarrowgrass they opened up the cafe. And 1945 they moved in Regina, and in Regina so long. I haven't got a chance at go to Yarrowgrass to find out my father, the cafe, and on the 1985, my daughter Linda is come to Regina, visit me and my wife, then talking about something. Then we jump in the car and drive it down to Yarrowgrass. And we go into Yarrowgrass, go to City Hall. We ask the City Hall, the staff, the City Hall staff, you don't remember. And I asked it was I was looking for Ji Hao. It's a cafe, and then so they say don't know, but they told me that you might be going to certain place. You can find out, and that place that the come and go the place. Then you go in there, you find out to ask for John. John is 90-some years old, and you ask John maybe. Then with my wife and my daughter Linda, and they went up to that stop and go, and then to find out it's lucky John's in there. Then I told her, I come from Regina, Ji Hao is Ji Hao, the children. And they said, oh, he asked me, the big G or a little G? I said, I believe it's a little G. Oh, he said, little G, he make good pie, he make good apple pie. He told me, it is, my father make good apple pie. He teaching me to make pie, make apple pie. He teaching me make apple pie. I ask him, how about the recipe? He said, no recipe. You follow me. You follow me how to do it. You just do it. And you're feeling. And you are feeling on your hand. And that's all. See, he opened up the can. A fat. It's a pig fat. It's a put the hands in there, take them out, put them out. Put them in the pot. To put in the kitchen. They pull the drawers out and they put some flowers on. That you're feeling like this, and that if you too dry, you put a little bit more water. You were too wet, you put a little bit more flour in there. You're feeling this way. It's good. That's all they are. They make a good pie. They're very fluffy. It's just like Crisco's and advertising on the TV. You put the fork on. It's very fluffy. That's all you. That's all. My dad teaching me how. But every time I make pie, my grandfather teaching me, you phone CPR yet? Because CPR need the railroad, the wheel, That's all they say. They teaching me, you make the pie so stiff, just like a wheel. That's teaching me. That's all I said. That is they teaching me. That's all. I make pie, but not like my father that good. But that's still good. My customer, they say, still okay. It's good eating. That's all. Thank you.
That's a really good story. That's the way with the CPR.
Yeah. Every time they teaching me, I make pie, they teaching me, you from CPR yet? Because they teaching me to make the pie, it's so thick, stiff, hard. It's like a wheel.
That's a really good story.
Yeah.
What time do you need to go back?
2:30, I had to go home. They had a car come and pick me.
Okay.
That's still got lots of time. That's no problem.
Yeah,
So sure. So if you want to ask me some more questions, I can answer you.
Yeah, I have more questions. So
Yeah.
I was thinking, you mentioned last time that there is a street that has your name in Virginia.
My name,
Yeah.
My name is Sam G. Sam, SAMGEE. Yeah, I come from China. Yeah, my father, my grandfather is a Hoi San, but I born in Canton. Yeah, Canton. That's the English give it to the name. Right now, it's the name Guangzhou. Guangzhou. That's all. At that time, the British give it the name is Canton. Yeah.
And so when your father was here, you grew up with your mom? Like who was in your home, like when you were a child?
Oh, because of my age is over 18, and then if I under 18, I come in see my mother and my sister, my brother, they come in 1950. So now, but I over age, I cannot come. Then I wait till they change it until to 1952. Then I come in. Yeah, that's.
And one question then. So when your father was here in Canada, what year were you born? In 1920?
Yet my father in Canada at that time he opened up the tea room in Regina. My father moved in from Yellowgrass, and they moved into Regina as in 1945. And first thing he bought confectionery store on the Fifth Avenue. And then so after that, he bought a piece of land. He built his own tea room. They call Fifth Avenue Tea Room. And on the Fifth Avenue, and Robinson Street in the corner at that time. That's all. 1945, he moved in to Regina from Yellowgrass.
And when you were in China, were you alone? Like when your father, like in 1930, your father was here. Yeah.
My father come in 1913 in Canada.
So it means like from 1913 to 1947, you were apart.
I'm in China. I'm born in China. I'm born in Canton. It's 2005, and they make we do something in Vancouver, and we talking in Vancouver. We talking in Edmonton. We talking in Winnipeg, talking about to the Chinese people, how the government discrimination, and that it's they won't allow the 1923 they won't allow the Chinese step in Canada. It's how bad is it? It's I'm in Edmonton and do the speed once, and after on in Winnipeg had see they are Jason Kenney, and they say and everyone they get loud only speed 5 minutes, but 5 minutes are very short. So on that time I talked over 20 minutes. Then Jason Kenney told me, Sam, and you talked 20 minutes already, but I still stop you, and because of your story to talk about your Chinese people. But I tell them how the government and they won't allow to the family come in, and then the people they come in this like the slave to work in Canada, and the wife and the children just live in China. It's how bad is it? And I talking something like this, and they say, "Oh, your stories are very helpful to us," and then you're talking about like that, and then well, really interesting. And then that's why I say how bad is your government on that, and then it's really happy to understand and this kind of story. That's all. Some of the lady over there, they talking and they cry. Yeah, it's not only the lady, even man. Saying, you today. If you like this, how long your wife is gonna living with you? See, I believe that real short times, and you had to be separate or some divorce or something. But the Canadian government to treat the Chinese people, well, then I talk like to let you people know about. Then I think you're thinking about how good is it, how bad is it. Then you're thinking over. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Samji.
Yeah.
I think that's good for now.
Yep.
And,
yep.
Perhaps we can meet
Sure.
Next week.
Yep.
Transcribe the interview.
Yep.
To see what we are missing. And
sure. There's no problem. Yeah. It's I can remember anything I can tell you. That's all. So now I understand. So you want to work on that kind of stuff. Since then you say you're gonna
Yeah, I'm gonna.
you can get me one or
Yeah, I'm gonna get you one for next time. Yeah. It's gonna be a gift from my part.
yeah. Thank you.
Because I think you're gonna enjoy this book. When I found it, I was like,
Yeah.
this is amazing. Yeah.
That's the only thing they say something.
Yeah.
It's
It's
not
this book, yeah.
yeah.
And they have, like they talk about like the famine in China
Yeah.
before they came.
Yeah.
And then the map of where they come in,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Guangdong.
Yeah.
And there's a little bit of everything, like
Yeah.
racism. This is the Virginia station, the pig house,
Yeah.
where they were detained
Yeah.
before being able to come.
See, I see something in here. I see something in here. But in English, they said 1882, but the Chinese writing is 1888.
Oh, there is a mistake there?
Yeah. See, this is the Chinese writing. Yeah. It's 1,880. In here, 1882.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're missing a 2.
Yeah, and I want to show you here, for example, they show also Chinese women, that there were few Chinese women that
The
came.
Chinese woman, this is clothing that the Qing dynasty had occupied in China 390 some year. Yeah, that the clothing like this, and yeah, it's the Ming dynasty. It's a different style. Yeah. I just need to check something here. See, and here you can see now this paper.
Oh, that's the head tags?
Some head tags paper. It's a different time, different the different number. See, you see this one?
Yeah, this is the
Yeah.
one that you show me.
Yeah, I show you that one. It's the green one. See, this is a brown one. It's a different one.
Yeah.
Some of them have picture. Some of them don't have picture. Some of them are a little bit different year and different time. Yeah. So because of from 1923 and to 1945, and there's so many different. Yeah.
And then the cartoons, the racist cartoons.
Oh yeah.
This is the railroad workers.
Yeah.
The Benevolent Chinese Association. So this is the first one that they did, the Bachelor Society Men.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
later
yeah.
became the
Yeah,
Benevolent Chinese Association with the time.
See, and this guy didn't take it at Victoria. That some of the Chinese Benevolent Association. It's I don't know. This book is where they do it. It's I don't know. That's all.
When they did it?
Yeah.
I think they did it on 2006. Toronto.
In Toronto, that's all.
And it was done 2014. So it's new. It has 4 years.
2014, and then it's see, I heard the Vancouver, some people talking about history, but then never heard they talking about 1930 some, 1940 some.
Yeah.
They talk about 60 some, 70 some. Yeah, because of those people doesn't know. Yeah. They couldn't get. But one of them doctor at Lai Chuen Yin, but he died. But he graduated from a British, but they still didn't. He's teaching history in Canada, in Victoria University, but he still don't get the 1930 something. I meet him so many times, but he still don't get the not many people talking about 1930 some, 40 some.
Yeah, because this one, it has the hectags from 1885, but I think the book starts before even. Like, I think it starts in 1800s. So it starts in 1800s.
I had some picture that I give it to Vancouver Chinese Veteran Association. I give it to Toronto, the Chinese Benevolent Association, and I give it some Manitoba, the Chinese Hoi San Association. I give it Edmonton to a Hoi San Association. I give one to China, and Guangzhou is Jigong Party at the library. So I give us so many pictures, and then that picture is they talk about the Chinese that come in Canada 1718 something.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I give us some of those paper. Those are very valuable, the paper. Yeah.
And also I was reading that they found that maybe Buddhist monks came 300 years ago. So they found some rest that it seems that there were Buddhist monks that came even before.
Yeah.
And then at the end of this book is more about the redress movement and Duong Jun.
Yeah.
Yeah, which was the first politician. And this is when everything became better at the end. So the Canadian Multiculturalism Act in 1971.
That's a true one.
And then this is the redress movement, because they say that many people came from Hong Kong, and Hong Kong had a lot of people from universities, so they were really well educated Chinese. So then they started doing more protest and getting.
Let's see, the Hong Kong is a British took Hong Kong at 1840 something, I think. That's about over 100